Hey guys, this is Stacy from eatthebite.com, and today I'm making baked cod with tomatoes and feta. It's super easy. We'll add a little chopped garlic to some olive oil, cut some zucchini that we'll roast in the oven, quarter a bunch of cherry tomatoes, give it a mix with some feta cheese, brush our garlicky oil onto the cod, add some razor-thin slices of onion, cover the top with tomatoes and feta, and then we're going to bake that in the oven. So, let me show you how to make it. We need to dice some garlic, and I usually slice my garlic into thin rounds and then dice it down into smaller bits from there. I'm going to transfer that garlic to a small ramekin with some olive oil and let that set aside for now. I've got 2 zucchinis here, and I'm going to cut the ends off of both to start. Then I'll cut in half across the middle, then in half again lengthwise. After that, you can cut them any way you like. I like larger pieces, so I cut them diagonally like you see here. Once I'm done, I'm going to transfer all that zucchini to a parchment paper lined sheet pan, drizzle with a little olive oil, and season with salt and pepper. We'll give it a little toss to coat and spread that zucchini out a bit. Then we're going to bake that in the oven around the same time we put the fish in. Now it's time to cut our cherry tomatoes. I like using the rainbow cherry tomatoes for this because I think it makes such a nice presentation. And it works really well to quarter the tomatoes. So cut them in half and then cut the halves in half like you see here. We'll be spooning this over the top of the fish later, and we don't want them rolling off. Next, I'll start by adding 1/2 cup of feta cheese, a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to give that a toss around to coat. If you're a feta lover like me, go ahead and add another 1/2 cup here. Give it a mix. We're going to give it a little salt and pepper seasoning. One more mix, and you're done. After that, I'll cut 1 onion in half, and then I'm going to slice some very razor-thin slices, as thin as you can get them. We're going to scatter these across the fish, but we don't want to overwhelm with the onion flavor, so the thinner the better here. Then I'll just set those aside for now. I've got a large cod steak here, and we're not doing much to it before it goes in the oven. There's going to be a thick end and a much thinner end, you'll see. And I do sometimes cut off the thin end and freeze it for a dinner for one on another night. But you can also fold it in half so it's the same thickness as the rest of the fish and cook it all together. It's up to you. We'll put the fish on a parchment paper lined sheet pan with our folded in half piece at the end. And every piece of fish is different, but there could also be a flap of fish hanging off the side, and I like to tuck that under like you see here. Now I'll take that garlicky olive oil and start brushing it across the fish. I do try to make sure I don't brush any of the actual garlic bits on the fish because I don't want to risk that burning on the top. And I really do like that little essence of garlic the oil provides in this flavor profile. So just make sure you brush the top and sides for full coverage, and then it is time to start placing those razor-thin onions across the top. I think I only sliced about 1/4 cup of onion total, and I didn't even use them all. Again, we don't want the onion to overwhelm, just flavor enhance a little. Last step, get a large serving spoon and start covering the top of the fish with those rainbow cherry tomatoes and feta. Try to get an even distribution across the top and use your hand to secure the tomatoes in place. Once you've got the full coverage, we're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. The zucchini may take about 20 to 25 minutes, so you could put that in the oven just ahead of the fish. While the fish is cooking, you can cut up some lemon wedges if you'd like. That's optional. The parsley's optional too, but if you'd like, you could cut a chunk off the top and then dice it down into smaller bits from there. And here's our fish right out of the oven. Once it's cooled a few minutes, I will carefully grab all 4 corners of the parchment paper and transfer the fish to a serving platter. I'll also go ahead and transfer that zucchini into a serving bowl as well. Then I'll garnish everything with a little bit of that fresh parsley. And if you're using lemon wedges, you can serve those on the side in a ramekin or right on the platter like you see here. And now it is time to chow down. This is a delicious and healthy recipe, and I really hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.